You know, with this cold that is set in behind Winter Storm Grayson and power outages that happen, unfortunately, accidents can happen. And we want to take you to a sad story right now to report on from New Jersey. In Perth Amboy, one teenager died and 41 had health issues from carbon monoxide poisoning. This is an unfortunate circumstance, and this can happen. We talk about it during storms because when generators are being used to provide electricity and to heat your home, carbon monoxide can be a risk if they are not used properly. So I want to talk about some safety tips when it comes to carbon monoxide. These are some tips you run through when it comes to hurricanes as well, and the widespread power outages that can happen from that. So carbon monoxide, CO, is a colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas. You wouldn't know it was there unless you had a carbon monoxide detector. It can be dangerous to your health or even fatal. And as you take a look at your home and some of the places where it could be an issue, it's dangerous when carbon monoxide is trapped in poorly ventilated areas. And that's the key, is ventilation. When you're using a generator, you got to make sure that it is properly ventilated, meaning don't run it inside your home, not even in your garage. It needs to be running outside your home. So looking at your house and some of the other issues, commonly, of course, the generators, but also leaky furnaces and chimneys could be another issue. Gas water heaters and stoves could be another issue as well. And if you are in a car and you're stuck on the side of the road in a snowstorm, make sure that exhaust pipe is always cleaned out to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. All right, let's go back up to Jim Cantori and get the latest. Jim, on this winter weather update, the next storm system up. This next one is still going to have some wintry weather, but it will also have warm air with it, complicating things.
Yeah, it is going to be complicated, but I think it's going to be a lot more freezing rain with this next storm, certainly, than what we had. Let's talk about, first of all, what's happening in Boston, because the calling card of this storm for Massachusetts is no question going to be the storm surge, okay? And right now you're looking at live pictures from NBC Boston of them in the air, probably surveying the area of actually how much inundation we had. Remember this morning we talked to Mayor Marty Walsh, and he said he caught him a little off guard, frankly, this much inundation. But we have, just to give you guys historical perspective here, one of the highest storm surge that we've ever had in Massachusetts. All right, it was third highest in Portland, Maine. This may be higher than the blizzard of '78. That's what they're looking at this morning. But places like Situate, places like Winthrop, Revere, getting absolutely hammered with high water as a result of this storm. Now, even up here where we are in Rockport, there's no stranger to storm surge. Look at this. Remember, you've got the water rise with the tide. The surge is on top of that, and then there's waves on top of that. The waves are what start to beat things up. And as you can see here, at the Sandy Bay Yacht Club, this little deck area here got pretty beat up. Now, this was attached to the asphalt in the parking lot, and some of that asphalt was thrown up. It's under that snowbank now. Everything is frozen right now. Look at that. That's all the wet snow that fell yesterday. That's just one sheet of ice on the side of the yacht club. All right, let's get into this next storm. First of all, a look at Grayson's tremendous deepening because it is one for the record books. 1010 millibars to 951. That's what the Weather Prediction Center is going with. That's 59 millibars, ladies and gentlemen, in 24 hours. That's more than a double bomb right through here. The last vestiges continue in Maine. The next system coming in to the west, this is the one we're going to deal with. This one will have Pacific air with it, behind it. But ahead of it, it's going to pull some moisture off the Gulf of Mexico. And we're going to see a precip shield overspread many areas from the Ohio Valley into the Northeast. The problem is how much of this Arctic air is going to be left. How much of a role is the snowpack going to play in refrigerating that Arctic air so that when the precip makes it, do we have freezing rain as opposed to just rain coming down? So that's what we're going to watch. And look at Sunday night from not too far from St. Louis through Indy into Columbus, Ohio, the possibility for some ice there. That should go to rain in most of those areas. But then look at this. High pressure on the east side of the Appalachians, the old Arctic high. Could we see ice down into Atlanta the night before the national championship? I hope not. Hopefully it's only as far south as Gainesville, and it should change to rain by the time we get into Monday. But then we bring that moisture up into the Northeast. So here comes the precip through PA, through New York, much of southern New England, talking about the chance to go from snow to freezing rain. So even though it's not going to be a blockbuster, unfortunately, it is going to be ice. Guys, stick around. Much more to come. The cold Arctic air following Grayson, a historic storm for the eastern United States.